Good evening, everybody. It's Steve Lookner here at Right Side Broadcasting, coming to you with a news alert involving plane safety and celebrities and things going viral. It has all of these things. So we wanted to come on and cover it a little bit for you tonight. So the story is this. Here's the brief summary of the story. Then we'll get into the details. There's all kinds of details here. But a plane took off, and all Nippon Airways Airlines, I think it is, all Nippon Airlines, or is it Airways? I'll figure that out later. Took off tonight from LAX, from Los Angeles to Japan. After 4 hours, while over the Pacific Ocean, after flying for 4 hours, the plane did a U-turn because they discovered an unauthorized person on board. Someone apparently had gotten on the flight who didn't have a ticket for that flight and had a ticket for a different flight on a different airline, if what I'm hearing is correct. So after 4 hours, they figured this out. And then they flew all the way back to LA, so people on that flight flew 8 hours and went nowhere. And included on the flight were model Chrissy Teigen and her husband, singer John Legend. And Chrissy Teigen has been live tweeting updates about this, which has become a whole thing in itself. So we're going to talk about that here. And I want to just make sure you can hear me. Figured this out. Sounds like you can hear me. Okay, great. So we're going to go over the situation. I'm very confused as to how in this day and age on a major airline can somebody get on the plane who's not supposed to be there? And then how is it possible that somebody gets on the plane and they're allowed on the plane, and then 4 hours later they're like, oh, well, you're actually not supposed to be on the plane? You'd think if they allowed them on the plane, then the people on the plane would know and they were cool with it. So we're going to get into this right now, and we're going to also catch you up on, I've been checking the last Chrissy Teigen tweet. We'll talk more about her tweets. She's been tweeting about this all night. But the last Chrissy Teigen tweet was here. I'll show you this before I get to the details of the flight. It's from an hour ago, and it says, "We live here now. This is our new life." This is at the airport. Now, I don't know if they're sleeping. I presume they're waiting for another flight. Are they going to have to wait till tomorrow morning? I don't know. People on this plane. We'll get to that in a second. But first, I want to get to the details of what actually happened on this flight, this crazy story that somehow somebody got on that flight that wasn't supposed to be on it. So we're going to catch you up on this. If you have thoughts on this during the broadcast, write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Okay, so let's look at this story here. Let's read the story. It has some good details, and it's from The Guardian. It says, flight from LA to Tokyo, as I said before, turns around after 4 hours due to unauthorized person. How does this happen? And then the subheadline says, it appears that a rogue passenger managed to proceed from check-in all the way to the final boarding pass check at LAX and board the wrong plane? Huh? Okay, here's some of the details from the story. A Japanese airline, ANA, I think that's Air Nippon All Nippon Airways, that's what it is, was forced to turn around after 4 hours. It was going from LA to Tokyo and was forced to turn back when an unauthorized person was discovered on board. The flight made an unscheduled U-turn 4 hours into the 11.5-hour trip. There was no security or safety threat involved, however. It appears that the rogue passenger, who has not been identified, managed to proceed from check-in all the way to the final boarding pass check at LAX and board the wrong plane. The American model Chrissy Teigen, who was on the flight, live tweeted the episode. We're going to see some of that in a moment. To her 9.2 million followers, she said some stuff like, a flying first for me, 4 hours into an 11-hour flight, and we are turning around because we have a passenger who isn't supposed to be on the plane. Why do we all got to go back? I don't know. Speculating that the passenger responsible must be mortified, Tiegen, who is with her husband John Legend, posted several tongue-in-cheek updates. We'll look at her updates in a second. We're going to go through those. But she did say, one thing she said, which I understand, is she said, why did we all get punished for this one person's mistake? Why not just land in Tokyo and send the other person back? How is this the better idea, you ask? We all have the same questions. And then she also tweeted out, I won't be able to sleep until I know how this person figured out they were on the wrong flight. That's all I ask. 150 people have been majorly inconvenienced. Please just tell me. She also said the police had interviewed people sitting near the passenger. Airport police in Los Angeles said the about turn was the result of a mix-up and was straightened up, adding that the plane was scheduled to depart on Wednesday morning local time. I'm confused. So are the police saying that the flight that actually took off was supposed to depart later? That doesn't seem right. Are they saying that the passenger had a ticket to a Wednesday morning flight? To me, it doesn't sound as simple as a mix-up if somebody without a ticket on a flight gets on the wrong flight. That seems like more than a mix-up to me, but I don't know. Maybe there's some simple, some kind of benign explanation to this. Let's see here. A mystery surrounds how the passenger had been allowed to board the wrong plane, with reports saying he or she had a ticket for a different airline. They keep saying the person had a United ticket. We are on ANA, Tiegen tweeted. So basically, the boarding pass scanner is just a B-dupe machine that makes B-dupe noises that register to nowhere. The ANA flight took off from LAX at 11:36 a.m. on Tuesday and landed at the same airport at 7:32 p.m. Pacific. So it landed about 4 hours ago, because that would be like 10:30 Eastern. A total flying time of about 8 hours. And so, we're going to get to Chrissy Teigen's tweets in a second. But, so I guess the question I have is how might this happen? So how could it have happened that somebody with a flight, suppose it's true that, as Chrissy Teigen says, this person had a ticket on another airline's flight. How would it happen that this person would get on this flight? Now, one thought I had is that it wasn't so much a mix-up. Is it possible that the person ran to the gate and said, I got to get on my flight? And they're like, well, this isn't your flight. And the person's like, well, I got to go. And they're just like, okay, we'll just get on and we'll have you pay when we get there. Did he tell some story that was so compelling to somebody on staff at the gate that they kind of just let him get on? I'm assuming it's a him, by the way. But let's assume it's a him for a moment. But is it possible that he told some kind of story and somebody at the gate just kind of let him get on and said, we'll take your information, you can pay on the flight or something. And then somebody on the flight found this out and they were like, no, we don't allow that. So, because I can't imagine that the person would just show the ticket and it would be the wrong airline and somebody would just go, okay, I'm going to scan it through, and the scanner goes green and they let them on. It seems that there has to be more of an explanation to that than that. And I was just thinking maybe the person was somehow allowed to get on the flight by someone at the gate who knew they didn't have a ticket for the flight, and then somebody on the flight 4 hours later was like, wait a second, why is there somebody in that seat? We never checked in anyone on that seat. And then they figured out somebody didn't have a ticket, and they're just like, for all you know, that there wasn't good communication between the people on the ground and the people on the plane. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I just have a hard time believing that somebody would be able to get on a flight just by showing a ticket for the wrong airline and the wrong flight. That seems kind of odd to me that would be able to happen. Maybe you have thoughts on this. So you can write to me if you have any thoughts on this. Write to me at Lookner on Twitter, at Lookner on Twitter. So in a second, we're going to get to, because a whole other part of the story is Chrissy Teigen, what she was writing about on her Twitter. I want to show you some of her tweets that she was live tweeting. She might be asleep, unfortunately, so I was kind of hoping she'd keep live tweeting during the broadcast. But before I do that, I want to see if any of you have comments yet. So Jill Chastain writes, and yes, Lookner, why would they turn around and go back just for some random guy? No mix-up or whatever would make a jet turn around. None of these reasons are ringing true. Be dupe, Chrissy Teigen. The person must be wanted or on a no-fly list. No-fly list, #waiting. So interesting point, Jill. You're saying, is there something about this person being important some way that made them turn around the flight? Although if the person was going to go to Tokyo anyway... See, that's another question. Was the person going to Tokyo anyway? Because if so, it really doesn't make much sense that they're turning around the flight, unless that's literally the rule, unless they could lose their airline license if they don't turn around the flight. That might just be the rule they have, that look, if you find an unauthorized person on board, you have to turn around the flight, no questions asked. So that's one possibility. Another possibility is this some crazy VIP who wasn't going to Tokyo or there was some kind of reason this VIP had to go back. So there's definitely more to this story that we're not getting. I'd love to get more information, but thank you, Jill, for writing in. Joe Sparkles says, check out this flight tracker, but that original tweet, Trump movements said, check out this flight tracker, and sent me a tweet from somebody, but that tweet is unavailable, actually. There's no flight tracker. Send me another link, Trump movement, too, if you have a better link. Because I'm looking and I'm seeing that tweet is unavailable. All right, I want to get to some of Chrissy Teigen's tweets. It's so sad she's not tweeting anymore. She was tweeting so often. Okay, so let's go. Let me show you. This actually, it's like, it shows you what was going on in the flight. So let's go back. Yes, she tweeted a lot during the flight. I want to go through it. So this starts here. It says, a flying first for me. 4 hours into an 11-hour flight, and we are turning around because we have a passenger who isn't supposed to be on this plane. Why? Why do we all got to go back? I do not know. So she's tweeting that from the plane. Could you imagine you're on this plane to Tokyo, and 4 hours in, they're like, hey, we got to turn around. And you're like, crap. And then you're like, I wonder why. And then they're like, because we have somebody who's not supposed to be on the plane. So I think you'd probably think like Chrissy Teigen did, wait, well, why can't we just go there and just send the person back or whatever later? Let's see. Brian N. writes, and hey, Steve, that to me is a severe breach of security at the gate, and whoever the ticket checker is needs reprimanding. It does seem like a severe breach of security. I agree with you, Brian. Is it possible that the unauthorized passenger knew somebody who worked at ANA Airlines, and somebody... they were like a family member or a friend of somebody working at the gate or something, and they were just like, oh, you can get on. See, again, that I keep thinking, like, did someone at the gate let them on thinking it would be cool, and then the people on the plane found out 4 hours later and like, what? Somebody let you on this flight? We're not allowed to do that. It's just a thought I have. I don't know if that's true. Let's see. Tammy Joe says, Chrissy is against the travel ban, but she had the nerve to be upset with someone on the plane with her. She should sit there and be quiet. Now, I'm not aware of Chrissy Teigen being against the travel ban, but you feel free to message me, Tammy Joe, if you have a link to one of her tweets or something. All right, let me show you more of Chrissy Teigen's tweets to show you what was happening on the flight. So we showed you the first one. Then she tweeted, so many questions and I have no answers. Either today, this person must be mortified, though. You can see all these people. She's getting like 10,000 likes in these tweets. So many people were following her as she live tweeted this. Then she tweeted, what is happening? So somebody tweeted, Jensen Karp, Chrissy Teigen's on an international flight that turned around 4 hours in because the passenger isn't supposed to be on the plane. Look at this flight path. This is my Twilight Zone. Oh, I'll show that. And Chrissy Teigen says, what is happening? How do you know more than I do? I'm still in the sky. Here, this might be the flight tracker. There we go. I think it is. So that supposedly was posted. That was posted by Jensen Karp, but it's supposedly the flight track of it takes off from LA and it flies towards Japan, and then 4 hours in over the Pacific Ocean, it turns back. So sad. Okay, so then she tweets, LMAO, after all this, I will have spent 8 hours on a flight to nowhere. Like we were all just having a great time up here flying in the sky watching Gran Torino. Time to go home now. You can see this tweet got 28,000 likes. So we're gonna show you, show you her tweet, show you what happened on the flight. But if anybody else has any thoughts on this, how is this person allowed to get on this plane who wasn't supposed to be on it? What do you think? Give me a shout out at Lookner on Twitter. By the way, if you like Right Side Broadcasting, if you like that we're doing a stream on this, I don't think you're going to see a live coverage of this in the mainstream media. You can. We are viewer supported. We rely on your support to stay on the air, on your donations to stay on the air. So if you want to donate to Right Side Broadcasting, you can donate by going to the bottom of the YouTube chat and clicking on the dollar sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat. There's a little dollar sign there. Or you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. And I think we might be too late for the moderators tonight in the chat room. So if there are no moderators in the chat room, behave yourself. That's how I'm trying to keep order in the chat room, by telling them to behave themselves. Let's see here. Oh, Tammy Joe sent me a message about Chrissy Teigen, I think, posting about the travel ban. I'm looking. Let me see if I can find Chrissy Teigen on here. Here she is. So one of our viewers, Tammy Joe, wanted me to show Chrissy Teigen's post about the travel ban. Hang on. I'll pull it up here. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the connection's supposed to be between what you're saying. The connection is between her supporting her being against the travel ban and her being mad about the flight having to turn around. Feel free to clarify that for me. But anyways, before I do that, let me just show you this tweet. Here it is. So this is Chrissy Teigen from January 28th. I guess that's around the inauguration time. She had tweeted out, Donald Trump is an unwell, evil human being to the core. That doesn't say anything about the travel ban. Maybe she tweeted about the travel ban elsewhere. But just so you know, that's one of our viewers wanted you to see that. And some other people wrote in. So before we get back to Chrissy Teigen's tweets, as we go through her tweets from the flight, I want to get to you your comments. Two Scoops Clarice writes in, so she thinks it was someone trying to flee the country before they're indicted, got caught and plane asked to turn around. Okay, possible, but how would that person get on this flight? Could the person have bribed someone to get on the flight? Could they have just said look, I got to get on this flight. I'm running late for a meeting in Tokyo. Here, take this $500 and I'll pay the rest on the plane or something. And somebody was like, fine. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm just trying to figure out a way to explain how this person without a ticket got on the flight. Red Pill World thinks it was Chrissy Teigen and John Legend that were detained. I've heard nothing to substantiate this, Red Pill World. Nothing. Okay, let me get back to show you some more of her tweets. But if you have comments on this or theories on how this all came about, write to me on Twitter, @Lookner, @LOOKNER. All right, so let's get back to Chrissy Teigen. We're going through her tweets. When we last left off, she was on the flight, and they had found out that they were coming back, and we already saw this tweet. So let's see what she posted next. She posted, this person is so lucky that we will all have to deplane. Imagine having to walk off alone. The shame. Then her next tweet was, I don't know why I'm not more upset about this. The pleasure I get out of the story is worth more to me than a direct flight to Tokyo. Hey, I'll like that one. Although I wonder if by the time she got back, she really thought that, and she was just like, nah, I would have rather actually have gone to had the flight keep going. Then she tweeted out, we saw this one before, I won't be able to sleep until I know how this person figured out that they were on the wrong flight. That's all I ask. 150 people have been majorly inconvenienced. Please just tell me. Now, I wondered, did the person figure it out, or... So confusing. I still don't know if this person was supposed to be going to Tokyo or not. After we're done going through her tweets, I'll try to get more information on where the person's flight was supposed to be what the ticket the person actually had. What was that? Does the Guardian article say anything? It says a ticket for a different airline. Well, I'll see if I can find that information later. If you find a reliable source saying whether the unauthorized person, was supposed to be going to Tokyo on their ticket for the other airline. So the person who got on the plane had a ticket for another airline. I don't know where they were supposed to be going. Were they supposed to be going to Tokyo or somewhere else? Anyways, let's look at a couple more Chrissy Teigen tweets, and then I'll get to your comments. But what I was saying is, she said, how did the person find out they were on the wrong flight? Now, it's possible the person knew they were on the wrong flight, but they were happy because they were going to Tokyo, which is where they wanted to be going. But what happened is somebody on the staff found out they were on the flight and they weren't supposed to be there, and they're like, we got to turn around. So I don't know if the person... It's an open question whether this person realized they were on the wrong flight. Could the person... I guess I was assuming the passenger did know they were on the wrong flight. Is it possible that the passenger didn't even realize they were on the wrong flight until 4 hours in? Is that possible? And then did the passenger say, excuse me, I'm on the wrong flight. Hello? That seems really unlikely that the passenger alerted the staff and said, hey, excuse me, I'm on the wrong flight. And then that they turned the plane around for the passenger when the passenger said that. I don't know. It's a lot of facts to uncover here. All right, one more tweet, then I'll do some more of your comments. Here we go. This is the one. Why do we all get punished for this one person's mistake? Why not just land in Tokyo and send the other person back? How is this the better idea, you ask? We all have the same questions. Now, I will say, though, it might not have been this person's mistake. She's assuming the person made a mistake and got on the wrong flight accidentally. Whereas there certainly are other possibilities, like the person wanted to go to Tokyo and somehow got their way on an earlier flight they weren't supposed to be on or something. So that's possible too. So we don't know that it was a mistake. All right. We'll get back to, we're going to go through more of her tweets in a second. But well, first of all, I wanted to see if she tweeted anything else. Nothing yet. Okay, we'll see if she wakes up and tweets anything else. But in the meantime, I want to hear there are plenty more tweets, believe me. In the meantime, I want to hear from you. How do you think this person got on this flight that they weren't supposed to be on? Do you think this person was supposed to be going to Tokyo, or were they supposed to be going to somewhere else and they just got on the wrong flight, on the wrong airline, going to the wrong destination? If they wanted to be on this flight and they got on, how do you think that happened? How do you explain the plane turning around after 4 hours? What do you think about this? Write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Feel free to follow me there too. If you like breaking news, I post about breaking news all the time. And don't forget, subscribe to Right Side Broadcasting and click the notifications bell. Subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell so you get notified whenever we come on the air with one of these live news videos. A lot of times the live news videos are more of more, I would say, I don't know if import is the right word, but more sort of like, world news, national news, things that might affect more people. But this was definitely an interesting story. It had to do with plane security, so we wanted to come on and cover it. All right, hold on. Let me get back to some of your comments here. Chirp retweeted deplorable Miss Midwest gal who said, not buying this at all. Why would they interview the passengers because someone accidentally got on the wrong plane? Well, it is possible that somebody got on the wrong plane and the authorities weren't sure it was actually an accident, even though it was an accident. So they were just interviewing passengers to make sure it was nothing else was going on. It's possible. I could see that happening. I don't know what the real story is. Clayton Ashcraft says, even if it was another airline that the person had the ticket for, they would not be allowed on. I agree with you there. It's just not possible. They have to check in. If they sit in an open seat before the flight takes off, they would have been removed. Again, this is why I think I'm leaning toward that somebody on the ground at the gate let them on for whatever reason. It just seems, how could they have gotten on the flight if they didn't have a boarding pass and no one let them on? But I don't know. Oh, sorry. I thought somebody was saying Norway, Happy New Year now. That was Norway saying it 8 hours ago. All right, let's get back to some more of, we're going through Chrissy Teigen's tweets as she was on the flight. Let's do some more of those. So here's another one. It says, she says, they keep, we heard this before. I want to read it again. They keep saying the person had a United ticket. We are on ANA Airlines. So basically the boarding pass scanner is just a bedupe machine that makes bedupe noises that register to nowhere. Hey, I'll give this a like. It has 66,000 likes. But again, if the person had a United ticket, I don't know how they get on this flight unless, did they pay someone? Did they know someone? Did they say they'd pay when they got there? I don't know. Chrissy Teigen then posted LAX to LAX flight complete, flight time 8 hours and 20 minutes. I like that one too. She says ANA boarding pass machine. She's convinced, she thinks that what happened is somebody literally had the ticket didn't have the correct ticket, got confused, showed their ticket for the wrong airline at the ANA gate, and the ANA machine went green or whatever and let them on. I have a hard time believing that's what happened. Maybe it did. I'm trying to look for other explanations here. Then she retweeted somebody who said, I booked your return flight. Kyle McMahon said, I booked your return flight. And you can see it's just like a ticket with crayon written on it. Chrissy, first class. Kirby Johnson said, please tell us everything you know about the suspect. She says, according to flight attendant, male or female. I wonder if the flight attendant actually said that. She retweeted someone who posted this. It's Chrissy Teigen wearing a shirt saying, I survived LAX to LAX. Then you can see she was tweeting a lot. Here, she said this, there is a 20-minute interview before we can get off the plane. This is my dream. Police, talk to me, talk to me. Now, I'm wondering, did police interview everyone on the flight for 20 minutes? Did they interview the people sitting around the passenger for 20 minutes? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Did this interview actually happen? Maybe she heard there was a 20-minute interview. Was there actually a 20-minute interview? I don't know. Thomas Johnson writes in, I don't believe the story, something more to it. They wouldn't turn around. They would sort it out in Tokyo. Rick Hopp writes in, maybe it was a connecting flight. He was already on board and didn't deplane. This is an interesting theory. Well, what you're saying, Rick, is could the flight have flown to LA from somewhere else before flying to Japan, and then the person was like asleep and didn't get off the plane, and then 4 hours later they were like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to get off in LA and I slept through it. Now, that's a very interesting theory, Rick, and in some ways it seems plausible. I guess my question is if the plane has an 11.5-hour flight to Tokyo, do they normally have like a leg before that? Like, do they normally fly somewhere, then to LA, then 11.5 hours? And maybe they do, but that is an interesting theory, Rick. It's a very interesting theory. So if it's true, now we should be able to figure out, someone out there maybe can figure out whether there was this flight had a leg before the LA to Tokyo leg. However, I want to see, is there anything in the article about saying the person got on at LA? Let's see. See, now they say in the Guardian article, they say it appears the rogue passenger went from they're saying in the Guardian article that they think he got on at LAX. That's what they say. Now, maybe he did. Maybe this is wrong. But this article in the Guardian suggests that he got on at LAX. It's an interesting theory, though, Rick. Let's see. A viewer, Jill Chastain, sent me what is supposedly a picture from inside the plane. Let me see. Let me get this up there for you. Hang on 1 second. Give me a second and I will pull it up for you. Oh, it's somebody else who was posting about it. Okay. So this is somebody named Devin McIntyre, and I can't confirm this is from the plane, but they posted this. It said, I sure wish ANA didn't make us turn back over the Pacific. So they're saying a fly ANA official let the wrong person on the plane. So if this person was really on the plane, they're saying this, and they posted a picture which looks like it could be on the plane, and you see a couple of police officers there. I can't confirm this is accurate. It's from tonight. And they're posting about it. And then they posted 2 hours ago, waiting for the supposed hotel bus. Flight NH175 keeps getting better. Chrissy Teigen, maybe you got somewhere better to hang. So I guess this person, if they were on the flight, really found out that Chrissy Teigen was on the flight. But these people are waiting for the hotel bus, if this is a legitimate Let's assume the person was on the flight. That was 2 hours ago, so hopefully they got to the hotel. Then when they go back, they have to take their bags off the flight, and then they have to recheck them the next day. It's a whole crazy thing. Let's see here. Two Scoops Clarice says she thinks the person fleeing had a valid ticket. They boarded a decoy to have the plane turned around and returned to USA. I'm not understanding the theory. You're saying a decoy got on the plane? I've heard nothing to substantiate this, however, Two Scoops Clarice. If you hear any media reports about this, please let me know. Trump Movement 2 said he or she heard 2 flights were turned back, one en route to Japan, one other to Honolulu. I haven't heard about this. I would need some confirmation from like a reputable media source, so feel free to try to find something about that and let me know. And there's rumors out there that Chrissy Teigen and John Legend were detained. She didn't post anything about that. She seems to just be hanging out on her posts. Let's get to some more of her posts, and let's see what she posted from the airport when she came back. She said, they put our plane in a secure area. We can't be near the common folk. Okay. Then she said, oh, she started posting videos. Here, I'll play you one. Here's one.
Thank you so much for taking me on this awesome vacation, babe.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
That dinner was so good.
So that was Chrissy Teigen and her husband, the singer John Legend, on the plane after they arrived back. Then she posted, this is actually a funny post. I saw this before. Somebody named Rafi posted this, and he said, my first tweet can't be more epic than this. Just survived an 8-hour LAX to LAX flight with Chrissy Teigen and John Legend on ANA NH175. So I guess he apparently just joined Twitter tonight. Is that true? Yes, look at his one tweet. One tweet. This was his first tweet ever. And now his first tweet ever got 42,000 likes. Oh, let me show you a couple more of her tweets. This is from 4 hours ago. Once they had landed, she says, still on the plane, starting to get a little, as James Franco in Spring Breakers would say, suspicious. Then she's still on the plane and says, okay, I'm officially ready to say something is up. So apparently they were waiting on the plane for a long time. That's 11:17 when she posted that. And then she posted this one about the interview at 10:50. So it looks like they were, at the time she was posting the 11:17 one, they'd been sort of sitting there for like 40 minutes or something like that. And then she posts, police were interviewing all the people sitting around the mystery person once we got off the plane. Why would they do this? I must know more. So we're going to keep going through her tweets to let you see what happened to her. I don't believe she has tweeted, sadly, in the last hour or so, but if she does, we'll let you know. But for now, we're talking about this flight. Again, in case you joined the stream late, a flight carrying Chrissy Teigen and John Legend and lots of other passengers was flying from LA to Tokyo tonight. And it turned around after 4 hours because they found an unauthorized person on board. The article from the newspaper The Guardian says that the person had a ticket for a different airline and somehow got on the wrong flight. And the LAPD said it's a mix-up of some sort. And there was no safety hazard going on. But we're trying to figure out what the details are. Why did they turn around? Where was the person supposed to be going? Were they supposed to be going to Tokyo or not? How did they get on the flight? Most important of all. And if you have any thoughts on any of this, write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Let me know what you think. Write to me on Twitter at Lookner. Babaru says he or she thinks they sent the plane back because they couldn't trust the Japanese authorities to send the person back to the U.S. So you think like U.S. law enforcement ordered the plane to come back, maybe? Could they do that if the flight's already 4 hours away? I don't know how the law works about in terms of that. Brian N. says, wonder how much money this fiasco is going to cost ANA. Good question. Leanne says, maybe someone stole a boarding pass and the owner of it reported it and they figured out through passenger lists who used it. Interesting theory, Leanne. That makes me think of another possibility. Is it possible, like, let's just say the person needed to get on this flight and they couldn't afford it, whatever, and like somebody, a friend of the person bought them a ticket, not for anything nefarious, but just because, like, you know, they were just like trying to get the person home or something like that and doing them a favor. And the person took somebody else's ticket and tried to get on the plane with it, maybe. I don't know, you know. So maybe something like that could have happened. Who knows? Oops, hold on a second. Hey, Ryan Lovesy made a donation. Thank you, Ryan Lovesy. Ryan Lovesy said, I'm so fancy you already know I'm in the fast lane from LA to Tokyo. I think that is... You might be referring to a song by... I know Charlie XCX is featured on the song, but that's not the actual person who does the song. Don't tell me. I'm drawing a blank. Blonde hair. Iggy Azalea. Am I right? I think I'm right about that. But thank you, Ryan, for the donation. The donations keep us on the air. If you like our coverage, please consider donating. We really appreciate it because we love to be on the air and cover more news for you guys. You can donate by going to the bottom of the YouTube chat and click on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. We're viewer supported, so we very much appreciate your donations. All right, let's go back. I'm going to look at some more of Chrissy Teigen's tweets. We're going through her tweets from the flight, but we're also taking your comments about this story. So write to me on Twitter, at Lookner, at Lookner, if you have any thoughts on what might have happened with this flight and how this person got on and what the deal with this person is. Okay, Chrissy Teigen, we're going with more of her tweets. So 3 hours ago she posted, no one will spill anything about who the person was or whatever, or what the deal was. I wish I had more for you guys. I wish I could be your Snowden. Then she tweeted, quits whatever my job is to devote my life to this likely very simple mistake. Then she tweeted, I have been moved to a room with Bravo. Clearly the authorities are trying to keep me quiet so I don't blow the lid off this sitch. Now, I think what might have happened, I'm guessing since her and John Legend, her husband, are celebrities, I wonder if because they're celebrities, VIPs, that I wonder if the airline just found a special room for them to hang out in. I would not be surprised if the airline did this and didn't just say, like, go wait on the street with like this 100 other passengers for your hotel bus. You know, it's probably in the airline's PR interest to make sure their celebrity guests are well taken care of. So I'm guessing maybe that happened. I don't know. But so she's in this room with John Legend. And then she says, then she says, oh, we have another video. She posted this about 3 hours ago. Let me show you now. Hey, where's the sound? Hold on. We'll put the sound on. Play it again.
Waiting. Hey guys, Chrissy Teigen here, reporting live from LAX. I know you all are eagerly awaiting my updates on this situation, which has now turned into...
Now, her video, it's only 10 seconds long, and I wonder, like, what I'm confused about is, like, why did that happen? Like, did she, like, cut the camera off too soon, or was she using some kind of program? Like if you go live on Twitter, you can have a video longer than 10 seconds. So I was sort of wondering how that mistake happened, that the video got cut off after 10 seconds. I don't know. Was it some kind of like Instagram or Snapchat where you're only allowed to do a 10-second video and she didn't realize she was using that setting? That's a whole other question. Oh, hold on. There's another video right after. But it's also, all her videos are 10 seconds and I can't figure out why this is. Is she using something wrong? Because I think she wants them to be longer than 10 seconds. Here's this one. Here's the next one.
Do a cover up. Just wanted to update you. Lisa Rinna has just arrived in Las Vegas.
So it looks like that's a continuation of the last video. I'm still confused about what the whole deal with her 10-second videos are. Anyways, we'll get back to her tweets in a second, but I want to go to you guys, see if you have any more comments on this. What do you think about this story? How did this happen? How did a person... Thomas Johnson says, why not land in Hawaii and drop the person off still in the U.S. for law enforcement to deal with? Well, I don't know... Well, if they land in Hawaii, I don't know if it's any faster. By the time you land... And then you got to like refuel and provision the plane. Also, as I said before, it might, for all you know, there's some regulation. There's some very firm regulation that if they discover somebody on board during the flight, they have to go back. There might be some regulation about that. They might not have had a choice. I don't know. I'm just saying. So there's so much to know about who this person was, why exactly did they get on the wrong flight, what was their original ticket? Where were they supposed to be going to? All this. And then why did the flight turn around? All these questions. I forgive you, writes in, they may have gotten word the person has a highly contagious and dangerous disease and keeping it low-key as possible so as not to cause panic. Jamson says, remember, they can remote control the plane back. Can they do that? Can they take over control of the plane from the ground? I don't know. I wasn't aware of that, but I honestly don't know. Miss Apropos, why did you send me that Chrissy Teigen tweet? Oh, she says... Miss Apropos says, Chrissy Teigen is a horrible libtard crybaby snowflake and I could care less what she says. This is irrelevant. Well, it's relevant if you want to know what's going on in the flight because she's telling us in the aftermath because she's reporting it live. So we wanted to see what she said. Hey, let's see some more of it. Oh, here she says here, sorry the video broke up. After 10 seconds, clearly the feds are trying to silence me. I don't think she really means that. Then she said, I'm in a room with water and a TV. The government is using Real Housewives to keep me quiet. So it looks like at this point, this was like an hour after they got off the flight. She says the government. So it looks like police sent them somewhere, or police said like, you guys can't go anywhere. That's what it seems to suggest. Because she didn't say like, the airline made me go to this room. She's saying the government. So maybe some airport officials sent people to a room for an hour or so. I don't know. Were they still interviewing people? A lot of questions here. Oh, okay. So Julia Wick said, are you allowed to leave the room? And then Chrissy Teigen said, yeah, it's a lounge, but I like to call it a room for drama's sake. Oh, so it sounds like they weren't kept in this room. It was just like, I don't know if it's an airline lounge. So she might have been joking about the government thing. It might have just been the airline that just sent her into like a nice lounge or something. Hard to say. Then she posted, they gave me ramen. I'm guessing that's the airline and not the authorities. Then she posted... then we got to the last one. We're all done with her tweets. We live here now. This is our new life. Hey, we should check, though, and see if John Legend tweeted anything out more recently. So he tweeted out an hour ago, bot's gonna bot, with no, I don't know what that's about. And then he said 2 hours ago, it would be crazy if someone wrote a song with this theme, and it's about Trump. One weird thing that Trump does say a lot is not to be braggadocious, and this isn't meant to sound braggadocious, and then finish with something insane like I am the sun god. I don't even understand. Well, this isn't about the flight. I was looking to see if he posted anything about the flight. So anyways, so that's where we're at right now. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on and see if I can get any more details about this flight. Because it is a news story that this flight had to turn around after 4 hours. So in a second, I'm going to do a little search and see if I can find more updated news about who this person was that got on the wrong flight and how they got there and what happened. But in the meantime, if you have any thoughts on this or if you're hearing any updates, write to me on Twitter @Lookner, @LOOKNER. And don't forget, subscribe to us on Right Side Broadcasting on YouTube and click the notifications bell when you do. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting. Hey, everybody watching on Facebook, how are you? And on Twitter, we're at RSB Network. I am on Twitter at @Lookner. Now, El Generico sent me a tweet that he saw, which I cannot verify at this point, but I'll show it to you anyway. And it says, from Danny Kosarin, WTF, Virgin America turned our flight around more than halfway to Maui and won't tell us why. Already over 5 hours already, big drag. So is that true? Well, no, that's from December 25th. That's from Christmas. That's not from today. El Generico, you got to check the dates on your tweets you send me. Come on. That's not from today. That's from December 25th. I'm getting that off the screen. Forget I mentioned such a thing. Not to say it definitely wasn't related, but I have a hard time believing it was related if it was the day before. I gotta do a little search and see if I can. I gotta see if I can find some more information about this. What's the media reporting about this? Hang on a second, guys. Let me do a little search. I want to try to find something. A lot of rumors flying around. I'd like to find something a little more authoritative than these rumors. I'm seeing rumors. Sorry, folks, I'm just going through and I see people posting rumors. I'm trying to find some actual, details from maybe a actual credentialed, a media organization I've heard of. So here's the ABC7 News LA one. Do they have any more details that we haven't heard? Apparent mix-up, that doesn't give you more information. Police say the return of the Tokyo-bound flight was due to a mix-up and was straightened up. That doesn't make much sense to me. We read all these tweets from Chrissy Teigen. All right, this does us no good. That does us no good. It gives us no details. There have to be details out there somewhere about this. There's lots of articles about Chrissy Teigen, but let's see if they mention anything about the flight. All right, here's one from HuffPost. They have Chrissy Teigen tweets. We read all her tweets already. Those are not news to you. We saw this already, the flight tracker. That's not news to you because you saw it on our stream before. We read all of these. We read all of these. We showed all of that. We showed all of this. Okay, that's not unhelpful. Totally unhelpful. Mashable has this, blah, 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 nothing, 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 nothing. No one's covering the news story aspect of this, which is that this person got on a flight that wasn't supposed to be there, and how did that happen? Write to me if you hear anything. But don't, I mean, you can send me a rumor, but it's just going to be a rumor. I'd love if somebody says, like, hey, I found this article from this journalist who's a verified journalist for newspaper you've heard of X, and they have some more updates on what happened with the flight. All right, Reagan Better, you said, Reagan Better, that, well, hold on a second. Before you say anything, Reagan Better, hold on a second. Somebody named Devontae Sison says he was on the plane. I don't know, Devontae. I'm looking at your Twitter feed. I don't see any tweets about it, so I can't. How do I know you were on the flight? I need some evidence. All right, Reagan Better says CNBC did an update on it. Now, Reagan Better, did they actually give us anything new, or did they just tell us everything we've already seen? That's my question. Oh, by the way, Sticker Pack sent me this and said Chrissy Teigen's mother. No, that's from December 2nd. The thing you sent me is from December 2nd. Folks, if you send me something about tonight, please make sure it's from tonight. But I appreciate you writing in. I love it when you write in and share stuff with me, but just make sure it's from today or tonight. Okay, CNBC, this article is the widest article I've ever seen. Look at how wide it is. Okay, now, the airline told CNBC, this is some news here, I liken it. Thanks, Reagan Better. During the flight, the cabin crew became aware that one of the passengers boarded the incorrect flight and notified the pilot. So the cabin crew became aware. As part of the airline security procedure, thank you, the pilot in command decided to return the originating airport. So that doesn't tell us if they had to. It says the pilot decided to. So we don't know if they had to return or the pilot decided to return. We don't know why. We don't know if the cabin crew knew anything else, or if maybe the pilot said, hey, home base, there's this passenger on board. They're not supposed to be here. Their name is blah, blah, blah. And then the police checked it out and they're like, whoa, send that person back here. I don't know if that happened. So we don't know about that. How did the cabin crew become aware that one of the passengers boarded the incorrect flight? We don't know. So that leaves a lot. Boarded the incorrect flight doesn't also say, did they know they boarded the incorrect flight? Did they not know that? Did somebody allow them on the incorrect flight from the gate? We don't know that. So much we don't know. Hey, I wonder if ANA has Twitter. Let's look. Let's search Twitter. ANA. See, look, ABC News is everybody's reporting on this story, but we're on live about it. So there. All Nippon Airways. There we go. All Nippon Airways has nothing up on their Twitter about this. Boo! Tweet something about it, guys. Come on. Your last tweet was 3 days ago. Terrible. Let me check a couple things here. If you have comments on this, write to me on Twitter, at Lookner, at Lookner. Or if you find out new news about this. I'm trying to find out some more information about how this person got on the flight and what the deal with this person was. It's very odd that there's like an utter lack of information about this person and like, where was their ticket to? How did they get on the flight? All we hear is that it's a mix-up. What else can I find for you? Here are a couple more articles about it. Daily News, that is no help. They just talk about what Chrissy Teigen said, which we already read. The Metro. Same information. Unauthorized passenger reportedly had a ticket for a United flight. And LAX airport police admitted that they had been asked to have a unit and supervisors on the scene when the plane arrived back in LA. But why were they asked that? Is that just part of normal procedure? I don't know. They later confirmed the diverted flight was due to a mix-up and was straightened up. What was the mix-up? I don't know. Is it possible it was more than a mix-up, but they're not allowed to say? I don't know. The plane has been rescheduled reportedly for Wednesday morning, in case you were wondering that. So odd. How about like who would have an update about this? Like the Daily Mail, maybe? They're usually somewhat good about updating stuff. Okay, they have a story about it. All stuff we've read, all stuff we've covered, covered it. Covered it. All stuff we've read. All stuff we've read. Nothing helpful. Wow. Just no information. There's an information blackout on this thing. How about the LA Times? Maybe they have something because it landed in LA. It took off and landed in LA. I'm on their webpage. I don't even see it. Look, LA Times. Look at this. Where is it? It's not even there? Come on, LA Times. Get your act together. Unbelievable. Literally not there. Oh, there it is. It's way down here in the California section. Here's something. Okay, here's some more. The LA Airport Police Lieutenant said there was no criminal or illegal activity on the plane. He referred further questions to the airline. All we know is that it was turned around. So the police really don't know anything. It's not like they said it was a mix-up, but they don't really. If they're saying all we know is that it was turned around, then they really don't know what happened. Wow. So guys, just like no information about this. I wish there was more. Any of you have any other information or have any theories about how this person got on the flight? Let me know at Lookner. We're going to be on a few minutes longer here. At Lookner on Twitter, at LOOKNER, covering this. I'm looking at the chat room now that I have a second to look. Oh, by the way, Truth is a Treasure. Thank you for sending me the Daily Mail story. I just looked at it myself. Thank you, Truth is a Treasure. I hope people have been behaving in the chat room. Normally it's moderated, but it's so late tonight we might not have any moderators there. Bloody Mucus says airline policy to avoid fines, probably. You think it was airline policy to send the plane back to where it came from. And Bobaru sent me an article from KTLA. Is there anything new there? I'm not seeing anything new in that story. All right, I think we're going to wrap up the stream because I have no new information for you. But look, we came on, we talked about it. It's kind of a mystery. How was this person allowed on the wrong plane? Why did they actually fly back after 4 hours rather than keep going? Who is this person? If it was just a mix-up, why wouldn't they keep going? If it was just, also, why would, how would the person, where was the person supposed to be going? How would the person not know he's on the wrong flight? How would the person actually be allowed onto the plane? So many questions. I don't have answers for you. I'll post answers on my Twitter if I get it. So if I get answers on my Twitter, I will post it on my Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Also, don't forget to subscribe to us on Right Side Broadcasting on YouTube and hit the notifications bell so you get notified whenever we come on the air with a news stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching on YouTube and on Facebook and for sending in your comments and your questions and your thoughts on this. And thanks to those of you who donated. We are viewer supported, so as we always say, we love to do this coverage for you, but it's you that keeps us on the air. So if you'd like us to stay on the air and do more stories, you can support us by donating. You can go to the bottom of the YouTube chat and click on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Also, if you like the video, we really appreciate it if you like the video on YouTube and share it on Facebook, because we're not a big company here, so it really helps when you like and share the videos, because that lets other people know about the video and spreads the word about Right Side Broadcasting. So we'd love it if you did that. Follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting. On Twitter, we're at @RSB Network. And again, I'm at @Lookner. All right, that's going to wrap it up from here. Thanks for joining us for our coverage of this Chrissy Teigen, John Legend flight that got turned around after 4 hours. We didn't make much progress in terms of finding out what the real story was, but we tried. But hopefully now we're all a little better informed about this flight. That's it for now. I am Steve Lookner. Have a great rest of your evening, everybody, or rest of your day, wherever you might be. And if there's breaking news later, we'll come on and cover it for you. That's it for now. Have a great day from all of us here at Right Side Broadcasting. Thank you for watching.